Oh, hey everybody, how are you? I was boar hunting. Just kidding. Welcome to Zenny 62. This is basically round two of the discussion, and I starting a lot later than I intended, but I had to take a very important phone call. And today is 48 minutes into my mom's 48th birthday. Uh, Turn that around. My mom's 84th birthday. I took, 48. 48, 84. There. So I say happy birthday to mom. She's downstairs, and here we are. All right, without any further much ado, as you all come in, I am going to get started with a rousing, big presentation, as it were, of the Jon Gruden press conference that happened today. Okay. And it was a lively, as you can imagine.
If you're moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's,
as you can imagine, it was a hot time in the Old Town tonight. You know, hot time because they won. Old Town being Oakland, tonight being, well, the night that the game was played, right? Hot time, Old Town the night. All right. So I'm going to spin you all around so you can see. This is the screen, right? This is the screen. Ta-da! All right. Then there's a screen. And what I'm going to do, folks, to help you out, is I'm going to make this bigger like that, full screen. And voila, there it is, full screen. Now let's see if we got it lined up for you, so we're not like saying, "Hey, I can't quite see it." If I go here, let's see here. Go here, right, and then we have to go back to the default. Let's see here. View on watch page. So we make sure everything is lined up. Okay. All right. So that means I gotta see. I have to turn this a bit, right? So if I turn it this way, like so, right? Then there it is. Okay, there. Okay, so that's the proper alignment. Just waiting for that to settle in and catch up. Right. All right. Put that right over here like that. And turn that up and then go back here. Okay. And full screen. Yeah. And here we go.
Just like to say that was a great effort by our team. You know, we got a lot of contributions from people that didn't expect to probably have the type of day that they had. I thought Brandon Parker came in, a rookie off the bench, and really played good football for us for the most part at right tackle. Assembly went down. There were a lot of peaks and valleys in the game, and we finished today. So I'll be happy to answer any questions I can. I just have the same feeling I've always had. I think you continue to raise the bar with Carr. You know, it's not good enough yet. He's a spectacular talent. He's a great kid. He's going to be fine in this offense. But, you know, we keep raising the bar with him and try not to ever get satisfied. But it's a pleasure coaching him. He showed a lot of great recognition. That's a hard defense. It's hard to be right. There's going to be ugly plays. They're blitzing, then they're not blitzing. They're disguising. They got every look known to man. And he hung in there and played his best when we needed him the most. Feels like my first win in 100 years. You know, it's just great to be back. I thank our fans for hanging in there with us. There's a lot of, like I said, ups and downs. But to get that field goal with our third-string kicker, backup snapper, I've never been so nervous on a 29-yard field goal in my life.
How many experience of those specialists? Did you have to, I mean, did you have together closer for team?
Tried to. We obviously you try to do that in any situation, but put the ball in the left hash where Coach Bisaccia wanted it, and give him a great look. He did a good job for us today. The kickoffs were also pretty good. We got a lot of character. I think they've proven that. The way they came off the loss to the Rams on a short week up in Denver, we fought on a hot day. Then we went to Miami and fought for 60 minutes on a terribly hot day again, and come off of a 3-game losing streak, and doesn't look good. We're down by 8 points. We hang in there. We keep playing. So I think it says a lot about the football character. A lot of those veteran players that we brought in here, I think delivered, just in spirit today. I think the attitude is got a lot to do with the leadership we have on the team. Well, it's big. We didn't run very good at all for a while. I mean, we had the long toss crack run. I think it was 60-yard run, 70-yard run. But we got stuffed on 3rd and 1. It was hard. Cleveland did a great job giving us loaded boxes, a lot of movement up front. But we were persistent. We had some big runs when we needed them. Lynch is unbelievable. What a great competitor. Mm-hmm. And I thought Jalen Richard came in, made some big-time plays in the 2-minute drill. But when you have some balance, and you can get in third mediums, you can call some plays that are aggressive. Hankins. Well, I got to see the tape. Obviously, it was great to get the turnovers. The turnover margin is usually the deciding factor. I think we're +2 today. And Hankins has come in here quickly, learned the defense. He's been a good player for a couple different teams. We need him to continue to do well for us. Well, I just said the whole team. We're playing 3 rookies on the D-line. There's not a lot of rookies playing on the D-line in the NFL, if you really look carefully. And playing a rookie right tackle, we got a rookie punter. We got 5 or 6 rookies making major contributions. But those guys have to play better. They got to keep getting better. They got to learn some tough lessons the hard way. There's no red shirt for them this year. And we're looking at a lot of great offensive teams in the coming weeks.
China to represent China here. Through 16 hours. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for making this one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I just wanted to ask you, as a coach myself, I would like to ask you, how do you approach the team the rest of the week? Do you celebrate the win, or do you keep them level headed?
Here, have my visor, bud. Yeah. No, we're going to celebrate tonight, and then we got to get ready for Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. And we're really happy. We're proud. We're excited. And there's a lot to be thankful for, but thankful for people like you. Appreciate you. I love Mayfield. I mean, the way he plays, the confidence that he has. He got out of trouble. He made some unbelievable throws under fire today. And, he got a bright future. I think Cleveland has their quarterback. They've been complaining about not having one for a while. Pretty obvious they got one. Well, we got a long way to go. Obviously, there's plenty of things we got to do better, but it's fun to win. We feel like we let a couple victories slip away, but to close out the first quarter of the season with a win, at least we got paid. At least we made something. We got a long way to go, though. We got to get back to work. I think Derek's played great all year. He's had 7 or 8 plays that people can talk about all they want. 4 or 5 of those bad ones that he's had are my fault, but he's played great. This is his first year in this offense. We got a rookie left tackle. Right now we got a rookie right tackle. We got a lot of receivers that are in and out of the lineup. Martavis Bryant, using a lot of different guys. And, he's completing almost 75, 80% of his balls and moving our team. So I love working with him. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing we got going. We were hoping Martavis would have a huge day today. We misfired it. I think he didn't handle that long pass. I feel like we left a lot of plays out there when we looked at it early in particular. We didn't handle the ball great, but we've got good weapons. And if they all play good together, we can be a pretty formidable group, I think.
Jon, the
I wanted to make Cleveland use another timeout. I didn't have a timeout left myself. I didn't want to run the kicking team out there in a desperation field goal, so chose to run one more play, changed my mind. We had the ball where we wanted it on the left hash on the grass, extra point area kick, but just chose to make Cleveland use another timeout just in case something went wrong. We haven't fixed anything yet. We haven't fixed anything. We got a lot of things we got to get better at. I think it's pretty obvious. We played good football for stints. We played good football in Miami now. Played good football against the Rams. There's some really good tape against Denver. But we also have some tape that needs to be fixed. And that's the same thing I think we'll see today. But we have guys that are really eager to work. We got good leadership, and we're going to continue to do it. But it was fun to score and, win a game. Maybe get that monkey off our back.
Two more guys. You talked about getting your hands up. You were able to get him deflection 3 times with that.
Yeah.
Get him a little out of his rhythm in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is let's keep him in the pocket. When you play the quarterbacks that aren't tall, you got to make the 5 or 11 or 6 foot or 6'1" status matter, whether it's Drew Brees or Russell Wilson or Mayfield. It doesn't mean you can do it, though, because they can change the launching spot and they're quick and they can get out of there in a hurry. But keeping them in the pocket, getting our hands up, that's a big part of it. We just need to get home more. We got to get more pressure. Rodney Hudson was unbelievable today. I mean, people have no idea what the center does. Greg Williams is blitzing from everywhere, every possible look known to man. And Rodney Hudson, he put our offensive line and our backs in position to at least have a chance to drop back and throw it. Those are hard blitzes to pick up, and I give our captain a lot of credit. All right? Thanks, guys.
So I think next would be Derek Carr. Hey, by the way, if you notice something, I think that's actually Kelsey. I think the Raiders have
possible.
I think the Raiders have their assistant
pick up, and I give our
coach,
captain a lot of credit.
The strength and training coach. I think they have her doing double duty, if I'm not mistaken. I thought, is that her face I saw? Hold on a second, because I saw. Wait a second.
To at least have
when
lot of credit. All right, thanks, guys.
Right, I need to freeze frame this. Is what I'm looking to do. So right about there. Okay, take a look at this, folks. I think. Do I have that right? Isn't that Kelsey? Take a look at that. Right? It looks like they've got her doing a little double duty. That's what that looks like, okay? Yeah, it looks like she's got another little job there. Let's fast forward a bit, see if we can because they have these long pauses. Okay. Long pauses between people. Hold on a second. And don't see Carr yet. Still wait. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's try this. Nope. Nope.
Fought through.
There it is. Okay, hold on a second.
There I've ever.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry about getting my head there. It's funny what happens when you take your eye off one area, Let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Here comes Mr. Carr. There he is. There we go. Don't want to see his chest, do you? There.
My goodness. Rodney Hudson is not only one of my best friends, not only one of the smartest people I've ever been around. football-wise. But he's probably the best player I've ever played with. I know it's hard to say for a center. You know, and when the top 100 comes out, he won't be a top 10 guy, but he should be, because what he has to deal with on a week-to-week basis, and then me changing his calls sometimes, I think, you know, he has a lot to deal with sometimes. And I guess I'm just trying to give you the very best thing I could say about the guy. He's awesome. He's a Pro Bowler, should be every year, should be an All-Pro. He's the man.
What's going through your mind? Down 8, last drive, you know, pretty much game's on the line.
Yeah.
As you walk out to the huddle, you know, what do you tell your guys in that huddle? What's kind of going through your head?
Man, win. You know, I've been through a lot of things in 5 years. The start of this year and half of this game has been some of the hardest stuff I've ever had to deal with, because it's frustrating things. I feel the best physically, mentally, all of those things that I ever have, but then I'll screw something up somewhere along the way. And I'll tell you this, though, as one thing I just said, I looked at our guy and said, just fight. Whatever we do, we're going to fight. You know, however this thing turns out, whether I throw 3 more picks or we go win this game, I promise you I'm going to fight. And to be able to sit there and tell our guys that, and then win the game, it feels better. It makes for a better story, I guess. But even if it went the other way, I'm just going to fight, man. Yeah, I'm just tired. Yeah.
Flip side, what did you say to them after when you guys?
I just hugged everybody. I sat in my locker, and I tell you guys all the time, I really mean it. I sit in my locker. I like to watch our team celebrate. I like to see our owner, you know, in there excited, our GM, our head coach, the smiles on the coaches' faces, smile on our new kicker's face. Imagine how his heart felt, you know, imagine how he felt before that last kick. You know, he probably felt pretty bad, you know, and we just kept telling him, man, don't worry about it, man. We just fight, you know, it's going to turn eventually. And for him to go make that kick and for us to be able to celebrate, he's the hero, man. Our kicker, he's the hero. He battled, he fought through getting booed. You know, he battled through people obviously looking at him funny as he came to the sideline, all that stuff, and he was nails for us at the end. Yeah. Well, Marshawn, that's my brother. You know, Marshawn's cousin Zell actually motivated us to talk to each other. So we did that, and so we did what Zell told us to do, and we came together as brothers and figured some stuff out, told some things to each other, and we went forward. But it was one of those moments where our back's really against the wall. It really is. And we said some things to each other that, hey, let's go, basically, you know, without saying everything. But you got to give the credit to Marshawn's cousins there.
I've been a Brady fan 16 years, and this is my first ever Brady game. I flew here 16 hours away from China.
Wow.
I was in NFL China today.
Wow.
First of all, thank you for giving me the most memorable experience of my life. I'm sure my wife can have to do that, but thank you today. And I wanted to ask you, such a cool guy, like week in, week out, win or loss. Like, do you celebrate a little bit today, or
I am not a partier. I like to celebrate with my wife and my family. That's how I like to celebrate. So I'm not a partier. I'm not going to be out there on the streets in Oakland or Jack London Square. But no, we celebrate. You know, we like to sit down. Honestly, I'm just so tired. You know, I just want to go sit down. You know, I think one day, you know, when we win the Super Bowl, that's when we'll have a party and they may see me dance. So.
There would be the fourth down road look like probably there.
Yeah.
At that point, what are your emotions? You don't know if you're going to get the ball back.
You want to throw up, you know, because you know that's on. It's always on me. I just got to be better for Coop. You know, but you just feel sick that it didn't work out, and you just you go to the sideline and pray that you get the ball back. And I think our stadium emptied out about halfway after that, and the people that stayed, they got a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to the line, when we initially called the play, we had something else built, but again, coverage, dictated, that could be a matchup, and I just have so much trust. And I'm not gonna lie, over the years, you've seen A-Rod, you've seen Aaron throw the ball to him so many times down the red zone, and it works. So I was like, maybe he's onto something, and I'm glad he caught it.
You've seen Jon 3 times after losing tough games. Now you saw him stay after a win.
Yeah.
How was he doing?
I will say this, that when we lost, I think I may have said it last week or the week before, he literally just hurts for us, he understands we work so hard, and it feels like, I'm a dad, so if my son were to mess something up, you feel so bad for him, right? And I think that was the feeling that he had. But when you do something right, that was his feeling. That was the response we got. Like, he was just overly joyed for his team, for his players, and he's really selfless, man. He loves his players so much, and his coaches and everyone, that when we won, he was just like, you could tell on his face, he was just so happy for his guys.
You were talking about your move with Marshall, who perspective on the offensive. Are you ever amazed that he's not tiring out more in the fourth quarter overtime?
Yeah, it's amazing what happens, and not to get philosophical or anything for the kids, but when you are tired, and on the outside it just doesn't look like it, right? Maybe he is tired. I don't know. He doesn't say much, in the huddle, but for him to consistently run the way that he does and give the effort that he does, he's one of the. I mean, we all know that he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, the guy is one of the best running backs to ever play this game. You can't tell the football story without Marshawn Lynch, and to be one of his teammates and to be in there with him. For all the kids out there, they should just watch his effort. They should, watch our kicker today miss some things and mess some stuff up, and then gut it out and be tough and finish and win the game for us. Those are the things that hopefully, our game can do for the next generation that wants to play football.
Very well coming back in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Wow. Yes. Yeah, I like that year. I felt that year was fun until the end. It did. And again, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every game that we've had to do that, whether really the Miami game, in the fourth quarter, it was like it felt the same to me. The outcome just didn't happen. This felt the same. We're gonna go out there, man. We're gonna win this game no matter what. I think that's when you lose those kind of games. I think that's why we get so emotionally drained. It's just hard. It's hard to win these games. And the Browns are a really good football team. I mean, you saw what they did to Breeze and the Saints, saw what they did to the Steelers. And they're off. I mean, goodness, man, they're a really good football team. So to be able for our team to close one out the way that we did, it did feel like the old times, to say it in a long way, yes. But the way we did that, it helps our team going forward. Now we know what it takes. Like, you got to go put everything out there to finish all 3 phases.
A couple more guys. Pretty good for the offense today to have 4 guys pretty evenly distributed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with Coach Williams, he plays so many different coverages. He wants to confuse me. He wants to confuse our center and me and myself in the protections, and he wants to mess with our eyes and coverage and things like that. And so it really. You drop back and you try and read it out, and you just get the ball to where coach designed it, and that's why it was so evenly distributed. It wasn't like, hey, we're just going to play this coverage and take this away. He does so much. I mean, I'm more mentally fatigued than I am physically, and I think I'm pretty physically fatigued, just trying to decipher what he's trying to do at all times and make sure I'm on my rules and on the plan Coach gave me. I mean, it's tough. So he does so much that it just works out that way. The way the distribution worked out.
There's an early pass today where kind of a little bit behind there.
Mm-hmm.
Made it back to shoes.
Oh gosh, thank you. Yes. It sucked. That's what my thought was. I had to move in the pocket, and anytime you get up towards the line of scrimmage, you're always in the back of any quarterback's head is like, uh-oh, here comes the guy stopping and coming to take. So I tried to throw it quick to him, and he was running as we've done it in practice, and I screwed it up.
We'll see in mid-side. That's good.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Sorry to cut you out. Yes, I can do so much better. My teammates are my teammates. They can. I'll do better for them. I can do so much better. It's like crazy to see like we can move the ball so well. I've been on teams where it's hard to get a first down. You guys have been here. We're moving the ball really well, and then everyone takes a turn doing something. So the fact that we can move the ball and do the things we're doing is fun. But it just shows you again that we can do even more.
Last one, guys.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, absolutely. I lean on my faith through everything. Like when my son's having surgeries, when we're 0-3, 0-10, I've been what were we, 9-1 at one point, 10-1 or something like that during that year. I mean, I've been through a lot of things. And again, I told you guys, I always just try and be the same person for my teammates every day, and just be an example that way. I believe in something, and I believe that my God is good. And no matter what I go through, I believe that he's good. And, I still have a wife to go home to, still have my babies to go kiss on. And now we have number 3 on the way. So now my wife's going to kill me for telling you. I got to go.
That's it, folks, as you can see. So that was it. That was a fun press conference to listen to. It's always fun when you win, isn't it? And having said that, the Raiders haven't had any fun press conferences until this go around, right? Until this Sunday. So there you go, right? How about that? It's just a fact. They just haven't had them. So there's a lot of comments you guys made. Kung Lao made a comment that just pops out to me right now, and he says, Bryant Martavius should have caught that ball, period. Yeah, he should have. But, you don't take him out. Me being me, I would have said, hey, wait a minute. He's got the mentality to where he's thinking, God, I want that back. I can do better. I would have, as soon as the opportunity presented itself, because I don't think when you were faced with what was then, I believe was second and long, you don't put yourself in a position where it's going to be third and long. You got to at least pick up 5-6 yards and do something to make the third down shorter, right? So anyway, it's Rick Grimes says that drop ball is not on Bryant. No, it looks like it's on him to me, but but here's the thing. It could have been thrown better. It could have been thrown faster. And so, yeah, I do see what Rick is saying. It was a little late. It was a little late. Ash says Bryant stretches the field. However, in the NFL, if you touch it, you need to catch it. Hey, I remind everybody this. You need more reps. Classic example. NFL Hall of Famer. This man was thrown 4 times during the NFC divisional playoff game. I believe it was 1991. Didn't catch a single one. Everyone was saying, why are you throwing to him? Then when it mattered the most with, 57 seconds left, Steve Young threw to Terrell Owens and he caught the game winner. You got to keep feeding them the ball. Sometimes, look, we're only human. People make mistakes. The biggest mistake of all is to not give a person a chance after, and the other chance after they've made the mistake. And so I think with Martavis, you gotta feed him the ball. And so Lou Ranger says he's financially set for life. Why risk getting injured again? He should retire and become a what? A pastor. Are you talking about Derek Carr? It's the thrill of The thrill of victory. What the late Jim McKay used to say at the intro of ABC's Wide World of Sports, which I would say a good portion of you have never heard of. But when I was coming up, before cable, there was a show which I loved. I never missed ABC's Wide World of Sports because it was Sports Center before Sports Center, right? It gave you a recap of what was happening in sports. Sometimes it gave you this offbeat, look, right? But I digress. The intro, Jim McKay would say, the spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sports, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. Dun, 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 dun. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports. Well, there you go. We all know about the agony of defeat, right? I don't mean defeat. I mean defeat. Okay. So, and Rick says he would respect him more if he just walked away and became a pastor, talking about Derek Carr. Good Luck says, can't wait for the 49ers and Raiders game. And Ash says, you can't feed the ball if you have no edge protection. You roll out. Had this conversation the other night, Ash. You weren't here. Roll out. Roll to a point, throw deep. That'll automatically buy you the time by design. By design, okay? Ash says the agony of defeat. Yeah, the skier. Remember the skier from why was it taking the tumble? Folks, Wide World of Sports, some unfortunate soul lost his balance skiing, comes tumbling down. It was the kind of thing that would make a viral video today. Well, probably has. John Davis, how you doing? John Davis says, the only team the refs don't like more than the Raiders, the Browns. I'm sorry, that whole Walt Coleman thing, and I think someone was trying to tell me, was it you, Rick, about this video? Maybe you're going to send to me. I don't know. And then someone mentioned something about Dean Blandino. So let me go to, you type Dean Blandino. There he is. Dean Blandino, okay? Dean Blandino says, top stories, Browns fans were furious after replay ruling kept the Raiders alive for the win. Browns versus Raiders, Cleveland showed it still knows how to blow a game. Q&A, NFL's former head of officiating helped make sense of, that was 2 days ago, okay. Browns fans were furious after questionable replay ruling kept the Raiders alive. And no, they should have been furious. I'm sorry. They should have been. This is from For the Win. The Oakland Raiders rallied to spoil Baker Mayfield's first start with the Browns in a 45-42 overtime win. And that the Browns thought they had won. It certainly looked that way with under 2 minutes to go in regulation. And the Browns up 8 points. Carlos Hyde appeared to pick up a game-sealing first down. The Raiders had one timeout remaining, so all the Browns had to do was take a few knees to end the game. That is if the call stood. Here's the replay. Here's what I think is the video replay that we were talking about. Take a look at this, all right? This is someone was putting out there saying, show the replay, show the video, show the video. Here's the video. Okay. Oh, poor Dougie. That's not exactly what I intended to show you, folks. Hold on. Let me see if I can enlarge this. Come on. Seriously? Skip ad. Let me enlarge this.
Fight for those extra yards.
See, look at this. This is what we're talking about, folks. Look at that, okay? Look at that. See, he said something about his wrist touching. All right? So he said, Coleman was his wrist right there, see?
Definitely an unofficial line. This just
See, that's what he's talking about. But the ball goes here. All right.
Definitely an unofficial line.
That's what
This just
was just infuriating. Okay. All right. So it says, while it's possible that Hyde's elbow was down before the ball broke the plane of the first marker, it was impossible to tell from that angle. Still, the officiating crew respotted the ball short of the first down, and the Raiders drove down the field to tie the game and eventually win in overtime. Fox Dean Blandino was audibly shocked about the overturn. Even if the call was right, I'm reading for the win, even if the call was right, they shouldn't have made it based on the ruling. They couldn't have made it based on the rule on the field, okay? And here's Dean Blandino's reaction. All right, here's Blandino's reaction after the call, okay? This is trying to center this so that you can see it. Excuse me, there. Right there. Where is this? There. Line that up just so. There. Okay, now.
Elected to take their third and final timeout.
Yeah, that's it. See, look.
Elected to take their third and final timeout.
He didn't show all of it. I mean, Dean, he didn't get the full audio. What I heard Dean say full on was he said, you know, we're all trying to figure out what's going on, what went on down there. I mean, he was visibly shaken, okay? And so was I. You know, you want to see the Raiders win. Frankly speaking, you know, Hugh Jackson's a friend of mine, so I felt sorry for Hugh. I just did. I just straight up did. I'd be lying if I said otherwise, okay? But, hey, the whole wrist thing was just weird. I mean, I've never heard that. In fact, let me go back. Hold on a second. Let me pull that up again because there's something in there that's quite missing about that. I didn't finish with that article, okay? Anyway, this guy has a listing of all the Browns fans going nuts on Twitter. The Browns were mere inches away from the first down. And fans were not happy about the overturn. Sport Nation, Ohio. So the Browns got a first down on the bad spot. Then it was overturned after they took a close look at what should have been a better spot. And he writes rigged. And he said this wasn't a first down. Try to explain this one in NFL, CS. And Chris says, congratulations, NFL, what you literally fixed this against the Browns. A blind person wouldn't even perform that. Refs really screwing up over teams today. Browns should have had this one wrapped up already with a Hyde run. Big joke or call. Retweet for the overturning of today's clear-cut first down that would have iced the Browns' win. Favorite for the unprecedented overturning of the finals game. And here's what gets me, okay? And Kim Rogers says, only because you blew the call, Hyde had the first down. Before that, you blew the whistle so early. Here's what gets me, okay? Coleman basically said that the wrist touched, all right? Now, how many times have you seen plays where a ball carrier, right? A ball carrier used his hand to stay up to avoid touching the ground and get a little extra yardage, all right? Rather than being called down because he touched the ground. Okay, that to me is wrong. I mean, let me see what NFL rules. Let me see what NFL rules. NFL rules. Ball play stops. Play stoppage. Okay, let's see if there's anything written about that. NFL clock stoppage rules. A player carrying the ball goes out of bounds unless the 2-minute warning of the first half or inside the last 5 minutes. The clock is restarted when the ball is spotted. Okay, fine. That's clock management. Do you have to be touched to be down in the NFL? Let's see here. The down by contact rule does not apply to college football. Okay. 2018 NFL rulebook, NFL operations. Looking through this. It's PDF download. Okay. 2018 rules changes. Let's see. Preface, plan of playing field, field markings, bench area, order of the rules, penalty summary. Let's see here. Order of the rules. Field ball definitions, game timing, player substitutions, free kick, ball in play, forward pass, backward pass, ball in play, dead ball. Here we go. Ball in play, dead ball, scrimmage. All right. Article 1, live ball. After the ball has been declared ready for play, it becomes a live ball when it is legally snapped or legally kicked. The ball remains dead if it is snapped or kicked before it is made ready to play. Article 1, dead ball declared. An official shall declare the ball dead and the down ended. A, whenever a runner is contacted by an opponent and touches the ground. Okay. Wait. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait. Listen to this. Listen to this. All right. When a runner, an official, so declare the ball dead and the down ended. A, when a runner is contacted by an opponent and touches the ground with any part of his body other than his hands or feet. Other than his hands or feet. Okay? The ball is dead the instant the runner touches the ground. A runner touching the ground with his hands or feet while in the grasp of an opponent may continue to advance. Ooh, okay. That, folks, you know what that means? That means we got a problem. Ooh, okay, because now let's go back and look at what we've been talking about, okay? Because we keep that in mind. In other words, you're touching the ground with your hand cannot stop the play, okay? So let me go back here. I'm going back to skipping the ad there with the dog, all right? And I'm enlarging this so you can look at it again. You and I can look at it again, okay? Okay, now watch this, folks. Okay, here, watch. This is the problem, okay? And keep in mind, your hands and feet cannot stop action, right? Look at this. He's still up. His hands and feet cannot stop the action, okay? All right, all right, look, right? He's still up. You see that? Okay, look. Then he's down and he's touched. But now he's over. They screwed up the call. See that? Okay? They screwed up the call. Wow. Big freaking error, folks. And something else to blog about. Well, I got to blog about this one. Big freaking error. Big error, folks. That's a oopsie. Yep. That's an oopsie. If there ever was an oopsie, that's an oopsie. Okay. Blue Ranger says NFL's rigged. Black Lion says, and that's exactly what happened. Kung Lao says, yeah, his elbow touched the ground, but Kung Lao, his elbow, your hands and feet. Okay, that's his hands. You know, it can't touch it. I mean, what are it doesn't say elbow. Your elbows are connected to your hands. Okay. So let's say that you use your elbow, you put your elbow down there and you keep running. Can I stop the field? Can I stop play because you touched your elbow, but the rest of your body didn't touch? You have your hands and your elbow and he's still going. The rest of his body is up. Okay. So, and so Kung Lao said, dude, elbow was down before the line. Read the rules. All right. Tony Cox says, when your elbow is down, the runners, that doesn't say anything about your elbow. All right. It doesn't say anything about your elbow. Okay. It just doesn't. Ash says elbow was on the ground. No. But elbow doesn't matter. He went. Let's go. Okay, look, let's go back again. All right. Let's go back again to this. Because and look at how it happened. All right. Just so we can, get this right, because again, it says that your hands and feet cannot stop the field of play, but it doesn't say your elbow can. And your elbow is part of your arm. All right. Your elbow is part of your arm. All right. So hold on a second. Here we go. Oh, yeah. See, here's the thing. All right. Here. Okay. Here. Look. All right. Here. Here is, how come this is not enlarging? For some reason, this is not enlarging, folks. Hold on. Try that again. Escape. Then do that again. There. Okay. Now let's try that again. All right. All right. See how he's down? He's got his, okay. And then not only that, someone said it's his elbow. But then let's take, if you want to take an even closer look at it, when his elbow comes down here, look at where the ball is. All right, you could freeze frame it, right? Let's freeze frame it. Let's freeze frame it. Let's go back here. Let's go back a bit, all right? Go back, keep going 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 back. Right there. All right, you say his elbow, right? But look at where the ball is. If you want to say it's his elbow, look at where the ball is, okay? You see that? He still has a first down. The tip of the ball, look at that. The tip of the ball, okay, did you see that? The tip of the ball was just at the first down line. It was just a tip beyond it. Take a look at this, okay? Let's go back, all right? Take a look. You say it's his elbow, right? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right, let's go back. Let's go trying to line this up properly, all right? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. 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 Line this up. There. Okay. See that? Look at where the ball is as he's coming down. All right. Look at where the tip, when his elbow fully hits there. Look at where the tip of the ball is versus the line marker, okay? It's basically right at the first down marker when his elbow fully hits. See that? The ball is basically where his elbow is. Let's keep it going. All right? And then he keeps falling, okay, right there. Fully, by the time his elbow makes full contact with the ground, the ball is over the line. All right? So for those of you who want to use the elbow argument, sorry. Still wrong. All right? Still wrong. Okay? So, like I said, that's all kinds of bad. That is all kinds of bad, all right? So, okay. All right. And so Kung Lao, I disagree, all right? At all. At all. At all. He says that was clearly at the line due to the angle which the camera was. And so Ash says, and the ball is pointed inward at the end of toward his face, not pointed at the line. No, but where his face is, the ball is elevated. So if you were to draw a line from the tip of the ball down, it would be right at the line, if not over it. So I disagree, all right? I disagree. LA Raiders says the Raiders are bad guys. John Davis says, to me, it was inconclusive, not enough to overturn the play. No, that's exactly the point. And yet he made that decision, all right? And Armando says, get 380 other angles. Rick Grimes says, if you think this is behind the line, you have horrible depth perception. I don't think it's behind the line at all. I see you're talking about just, I see, okay. Black Lion says, You had a wide out for the Browns who jumped behind the line and they gave him a first down. Armando says, well, it's good that you disagree because if you're not a grit referee. Detective John, how you doing? Checker says, assuming the yellow line is spot on. Yeah, but then if the yellow line isn't spot on, you know, we're really sunk. We're really screwed, aren't we? Hey, John Marks, how you doing? John Marks says, Ricky football, a Carr with another 2 interceptions. He might have had 30 by the end of the season. Kung Lao says, refs probably had better camera views. Nah, I doubt it. The whole point is no. Kung, what's your real name, Kung Lao? It ain't Kung Lao. But anyway, Ash says, you can't call it that unless you see it from a side angle. So basically, if you're saying, Kung Lao, that you can't, Ash, if you're saying that you can't tell things, you're basically saying it's not conclusive, and therefore no change should have been made. So you see, it doesn't matter which way you go. It still should have been a first down for the Browns. The Browns got, as John Marks just chimed in, the Browns got robbed, no question. LA Raiders says, I'm happy, Raider man, but our defense tackling is poor. Rick Grimes says the original spot shows that for the ball on the edge of the yellow line, and it barely was first down with the change. Rick Grimes says, so they are 100% accurate in terms of which part, Rick. Absolutely says, they always say in the booth, the yellow line is not spot on while watching the game. Well, but that's what they use. Okay. And not only that, they don't always say that because they use it as a reference. John Mark says the Raiders should be 0-4 as Dr. Shrinker tried to predict on Twitter this week, laugh out loud. Black Lion Supreme says dead wrong. Kung Lao says, yes, the yellow line is not spot on, but it's used. And so, but you're assuming that you're making an assumption. You don't have any evidence that there's something other than that. What is used is something other than what we saw. Okay. I mean, if you should just simply say, yeah, you like the outcome. My point is this. The outcome masks a large number of Raiders deficiencies. And what I'm thinking of, I'm sorry, is sinister. It's kind of like, hey, I know the Raiders want to sell PSLs in Vegas. I know they've got a project there. I know they need to keep some momentum going. And I'm sorry, it wouldn't surprise me to find out that somebody in New York said, hey, you know what? Let's just give the Raiders a chance, will you? Because we don't want to see them 0-4. It's going to be disastrous for their business. And look, in this day and age of Brett Kavanaugh, if you don't think that could happen, you are living in a Pollyannish world. So, and so JJ says, enjoy this win. We have a division game next week. Yep. Detective says, what was up with the Browns getting going for 2-point conversion early on? You know, the Browns problem that was self-inflicted was basically Todd Haley. He could have called a lot better game for them. Calling these trick plays on third and goal at the 1 that are long developing that are surely going to get you down for a loss. He did that twice. Crazy stuff. John Mark says, I know Black Lion Supreme, but Dr. Shrinker tried to shrink them down the size this week. I don't even know who Dr. Shrinker is. JJ Steele says, okay, if that did happen, they still went down and scored. Rick Grimes said, yeah, now here's the thing. Give credit to the Raiders for rising to the occasion and winning the game. But I really believe that it was that call that took the wind out of the Browns' sails. It was like, and I think Myles Jarrett's hard play summed it up. I mean, what more did they have to do to win a game? You can't fight your opponent and the refs too, because then it becomes a problem, okay? And we have David says Carr's not a good guy. He says Carr's not a good red zone quarterback. Rick Grimes says the yellow line is spot on because the original spot of the ball showed the tip of the ball across the yellow line. Then the chains came out of it, and it was barely a first down, yellow line and change. Yeah, you're right. The first time they did it, he was barely over it. And then, but see, that's what happens. Then he came up with this elbow stuff. I was like, what? And then they placed the ball back a yard. Think about it. He placed the ball back a yard. Now, in the replay, the running back, Carlos Hyde's body hadn't even touched the ground a yard back. It was still in the air. Got robbed. I'm sorry, that was a rob, okay? And LA Raiders says, are you happy the Raiders won? I'm happy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not happy they won under these circumstances because it wasn't a victory on their own. All right. It was a victory that happened because they were given the ball back when they shouldn't have been given the ball back. And they basically were given it back by a referee who basically said, do something with it. Score. Because, we want to see you 1-3. We don't want you to see, we don't see you 0-4. So it doesn't feel good as a victory because it masks a lot of problems the Raiders they had in this game. It masks problems they had against the run. It masks, it gives opponents now a whole series of games of weaknesses and intellectual problems and approaches to exploit, to where I would say the Raiders basically need to just tear up the game plans and start all over from scratch with a totally different approach. The one biggest weakness that sticks out to me regarding the Raiders is their inability to their lack of launch points for the quarterback, for one. Lack of a series of asymmetrical formations that place like 4 wide receivers to one side of the ball, giving them side here. Maybe you can do a quarterback sneak this way, or weak side passing. They lack a series of plays that give them the certainty of gaining yardage. And you would say that's impossible. No, it's quite possible. They're the bread and butter plays. All right. And they're beginning to look like less a system and less a package of plays that they use here and there. But although they do have the core passing area plays, I would have to say are quite effective. That's the negative part. Let me talk about the good part. All right. The good part, I love how the Raiders are able to dissect under Gruden a defense offensively and determine the right pattern to use at the right time. They did that in this game better than they have any other previous game, including the one where Derek Carr completed 90% of his passes against the Broncos. This game was fun to watch. Wheel routes, flats, seam patterns, post patterns after play action to a roll, one rollout. Okay, note that. All right, fun to watch. 458 yards, a beautiful passing offense for the most part. Missing Jordy Nelson was inexcusable. Derek Carr started off rough, but he got into a groove. So, but the other issue that I have is on the edges. The Raiders have clear schematic weaknesses, recognizing when the edge blitz is coming, checking down to get out of it, having double tight ends to discourage it, or again, the asymmetric formation descriptions that I offered, which kill that kind of approach. There are a number of things that you can do from a formation perspective to stop, not just discourage, but stop the kind of approach the Browns were giving them. But if you line up in conventional sets with a receiver here or there, or 2 receivers here and 1 receiver there, everything basically balanced, you invite the kind of relentless, ever-changing, multi-blitzing scheme that really clobbered the Raiders. Now, are we going to see that against the Chargers? We could. All right. And a better offense to boot. So the win, I think it's good to get it out of the way. But in my view, it was a game the Browns basically gave to the Raiders, and then they had help in doing so from the referees. Yeah, I know people say a win's a win. A win is a win is a win. I am not one who likes ugly wins. I like clear out victories. They are the product of good, well thought out, well executed football. You asked, I'm just saying. Okay. So now Black Lion fires back with this. Just win, baby. I get you. I get you. John Mark says, ever since he didn't negotiate in good faith, I hate Mark Davis. No offense, Zenny. None taken. Mark? No, I'm not taking Mark. I'm taking John Marks. All right, it's 1:49, almost 2 o'clock. Today is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma. Love you. And going to bed. See everybody tomorrow. Remember, watch horror films. Keep America strong. All right. Thank you all very much. And by the way, speaking of which, today is the anniversary of 1 October in Vegas. So let's have a moment of silence for the lives lost a year ago today. You say Vegas strong? We say Vegas stronger. I like that slogan. That's the new slogan. Hashtag Vegas stronger. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. See ya. Good night. Oh, hey, thanks, Rick. I appreciate the email. Okay, thank you. I'll see you. Thank you. Good night, everybody.